I heard this quote today, or saw a quote in the last couple of days, and I've seen it before, and it's just something that struck me pretty, I don't know, it just stirred something in my heart and in my spirit. It's by Morgan Freeman, and you've probably seen the meme maybe here and there online, but if not, it's a quote of his, and it said, "Just because I disagree with you does not mean that I hate you." And we need to relearn that in our society. It's so powerful because I feel like more than ever, at least in my lifetime and the lifetime of those that I've spoken with that have been alive longer than me, I have seen lately especially how absolutely divided we are as a people, and especially going into this pandemic. And it seems like one of the potential fruits of this pandemic, or what we're experiencing together with the coronavirus outbreak and all of the social distancing and quarantining, is an opportunity to kind of refocus or relearn the importance or the value of friendship and connection and community. And but I've noticed more than ever that it seems like people are being torn apart by one another, but also by some of the systems that are in place. Now, I am not a conspiracy theorist by any means, but I'm going to get just downright straightforward with you tonight on some of the bait that people in the church are taking that's allowing us to do things that are not of God and to cause division instead of building connection and friendship and relationship. I want to just kind of read a couple scriptures to you that talk specifically about friendship tonight, so you can understand the purpose of friendship and the purpose of having that koinonia, that brotherly love, that agape love, that connection, that community, that communion with another human being, and not just your spouse or not just a single person, but having a community, a group of people that you can truly, truly connect with. John 11:11 says, "This he said, and after that he said to them, 'Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I go so that I may awaken him out of his sleep.'" Another version says, "Having said this, he added, 'Our friend Lazarus is not dead, but he sleeps, and I'm going to wake him out of his sleep.'" I love this because this is a quote, and Jesus is referring to Lazarus as a friend. And if you read the New Testament, you'll find out that Jesus refers to many of his disciples and many of those that are kind of his crowd that are around him as friends. It was actually important to God himself, incarnate on the earth in the manifest form of Jesus Christ, that he have friends while on the earth. Now, he wasn't just friends with them because they needed it. He was friends with them because he believed that while he was here on the earth, that part of the structure of heaven, the heavenly structure or government here on the earth, one of the things that we need to flourish in it is friendship and connection. Now, one of the reasons I'm preaching this is because I got to be real with you. I have seen such division in churches, and we have churches that predominantly vote one way, and then another church that predominantly votes another way. We have churches that are saying reopen, that the government can't tell us what to do, and God's going to heal us if we get sick, and we don't have faith if we don't open. And we have churches that are saying, no way, we're not opening. That's foolish. That's crazy. We have people during this time that are saying, if there's a vaccine that comes out, I'm going to vaccinate my children. We have people saying that I'm not putting that in my child or in myself until it's fully tested for years, and we have data behind it. There's people, and these issues are so divisive. They're so divisive. There's so much weight or passion or baggage with some of these issues, whether political, whether having to do with religion, whether having to do with particular theology, whether it has to do with how we raise our children, whether it has to do with what kind of car we drive, or who we hang out with, or what kind of music we listen to, or what kind of food we eat. It's so silly that as a society, we have literally narrowed down our choices, if you will, of those that can kind of even begin to qualify as someone who can be our friend. I'm speaking to you tonight because I believe many of us are lonely. I believe many of us wish that we had that brotherly love, that communion and community, that camaraderie with more than those that are in our immediate circle. We're looking for it, but I'm going to ask you the question, and I don't want to yeah, I'm just going to go there. Some of us need to put down Netflix and go reach out to some people that used to be our friends. Some of us need to drop some of the things that have replaced community and replaced connection and realize that when we come out of this, we have an opportunity to do things different than the way we went into it. Some of us need to understand that there are some things in our lives that have completely replaced. I know people that work out every day, but they have no friends. They're in a gym every day with other people who have like interests, but for some reason, they've talked themselves out of being friends. It's like, as a society, I'm going to be real with you. You can probably tell it's not my problem, but as a society, I want to be real with you. We have found these different things to replace what God intended to be one of the most important things. Or when we do have friends, we're all on our devices the whole time. Is that you, Stephen? Do you do that? Is that John? Is John on his phone right now? I rebuke that spirit on you. Right now, I rebuke that spirit. Get up here. We're going to get that out of you right here, right now. You're good? No, you're not. That's an Apple spirit. It's a Steve Jobs spirit. It's jumping all over you. We're going to get rid of it. Definitely jumped off of Steve and onto you. But let's be real with each other. When's the last time you had a really great time with friends? With people that had your back, with people that you could breathe with. As I preached kind of on friendship and community about 2 months ago when this started, but people that could breathe with you, that long suffering, that word means to long of breath, people that will really go the distance with you, people that will be there in the end. Well, Dan, I've had people like that, but they've left me, they've messed me over, they've screwed me over. Yeah, but you don't have an option of isolation because isolation will kill you. Jesus himself didn't isolate. Any person that isolates themselves will get picked off. They will get to a point in their life where they can't take it anymore. And it's almost impossible sometimes to recover when you spend years and years pulling back from people and allowing your life to be consumed with artificial community. I'm a reality show fan. I like some reality shows, and I've got a really good friend of mine who she loves reality shows. And we were joking the other day because you can get wrapped up in a reality show, like one of these Bachelor shows or one of these whatever, and literally those people become your fake friends. Like you're like following them on Instagram to see what happened with Zach or seeing what happened with Chelsea or seeing what happened with this person. It's almost like as a society we're replacing, and society is really feeding us these things because they want us to be isolated. Like I said, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I'm going to get to some more scripture here in a moment, but companies make money on their ability to keep us in segments. Right now, I could market to every girl in Sarasota, ages 18 to 24, with dark hair, who are a size 6 or smaller, who are into a certain type of fashion, and who have the budget to buy those clothes. I can be that specific and even go deeper than that to zip codes, to specific neighborhoods. I could decide that I want to hit Lakewood Ranch, but I don't want to hit anything further than State Road 70 and target them with marketing. We actually make money as a society, corporately, by being able to make sure that people stay in their lane and that they hang out with like-minded people. We do that in the political realm. Listen to me tonight. This is revelation tonight I need you to hear. We do that in the political realm. Do you think that a political party wants you to think being friends with somebody of another political party is okay? Well, what if you have a conversation and they begin to change your mind? Then you're no longer a part of that party. They've lost their power with you. They've lost their vote, their connection. And so I hear things like, it's shocking, but I hear things like, oh, I found out that she voted for Donald Trump. I can't be around people like that. What? So because of the way somebody voted 3 years ago, you're going to, one act they did 3 years ago, you're going to literally decide their entire character based on they think who's best to run this country? I found out that, she likes Bernie Sanders and she's a socialist, in my opinion. I can't be around people that are socialists. Why? You might have a better shot at them splitting the bill if you go out to dinner. I mean, really? Because this is what happens. We have first of all, we have church telling us, don't be friends with anybody that doesn't think like you or look like you or sound like you. We have pastors saying, hey, there's friends here in the church. Just meet them. Those are the safe people. Anyone outside of here could be a wolf. And so then you're like, okay, so I've got 10 families here that are around my age group. 5 of them voted for the other party, so I can't hang out with them. 2 of them don't drink, and me and my wife like to have a cocktail every now and then. And so we can't hang out with them because that'll be weird. So I'm down to 3, and that one guy seems a little creepy. So I'm down to 2, and not you, and this, and so I'm down to 2, but that couple over there, they, they don't really have a house that I want to hang out in. It kind of smells like, cats. And then the last couple you've got, their house is too nice and you don't feel comfortable in it. It's just not homey like ours, honey. And so then next thing you know, there's nobody left because we have allowed the government, we have allowed society, and we have allowed religion to literally narrow down our potential for friends and community to such a small pool of people that it's like we have to hit the jackpot to find somebody that fits all the criteria that we can actually build life and relationship with. It's crazy. And it's true. Proverbs 17:9 says, let's not go there. Let's go to James 2:23. And the scripture was fulfilled, which says, and Abraham believed God, and it was reckoned to him as righteousness, and he was called a friend of God. In another version, it says, Abraham's friendship with God was the fruit of the righteousness he received by faith. This was announced in Genesis 15:6 and prompted a lifestyle that confirmed his faith. Like Abraham was a friend of God. Friendship to God is so valuable and so important to our health. I was reading today some of the studies that have been done. There was a study of 90,000 men and women. 90,000 was the case study. And they found this, that friends lower stress. Some of y'all are like, you haven't met my friends. I know, I get it. But in general, friends lower stress. Friends will keep your mind sharper. Friends can actually help you live longer. They did a study with 90,000 people. Those that reported greater connection and greater friend group lived longer in the elderly. They can boost your career. They can motivate you to be healthier. Oh, they can stab you in the back too. You know what's worse than being stabbed in the back? Being isolated and being alone. Loneliness will kill you. Loneliness will take you out. You actually weren't designed to be alone. God actually says it's not good for man to be alone. It's not just talking about a man and a woman. It's talking about mankind too. It's not good for us to be alone. I actually believe this, and I am an extrovert, so I get it that I'm a little biased, but I actually believe that there's people that think they're introverts that aren't as introverted as they think they are if they would actually drop some of the fear and anxiety they have around building friendship and community. If they'd actually open their hearts to the opportunity or the chance to meet new people, have new friendships in their lives, and begin to build community. You might find out you're not as introverted as you think you are. Some of us use our personality types as an excuse, just like I can use my extrovert nature as an excuse to go into a room and act like a crazy person. Well, I'm an extrovert. That's why I'm so loud and annoying. I believe that introverts can use that as an excuse to not build something that is vital to your life. Well, I'm fed when I'm alone. That's great. I'm recharged when I'm alone. Awesome. But you shouldn't be alone all the time. None of us were designed to be alone. None of us were designed to not have people in our lives that we actually can count on when things get rough. It says this, it says, he who conceals a transgression seeks love, in Proverbs 17:9, if you can put that up, Juju. He who conceals a transgression seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates intimate friends. We need to find and allow people to come into our life that want to protect and cover our screw-ups. Not people that are looking to make excuses, but people that realize that we're human beings. and not people that take our junk and spread it to the world around us. Let's go to John 15:13. Of course, this is talking about Jesus, but it says this, it says, greater love has no one than this, that one laid down his life for his friends. This is Jesus speaking. Another version says, there's no greater expression of love than the love that leads someone to lay down his life for his friends. For self-sacrifice is the high watermark of love. Let me be real with you. I have other scriptures, but we're just going to stop there. Let me be real with you tonight. I'm going to be real with you. That's okay. I have literally stopped hanging out with people before in my life because they didn't like good food. They could have been people that would have my back and go to the end, but I'm like, oh, what are we going to do when we get together? They want to eat boiled salmon, if that's even a thing, over rice that has no seasoning. I mean, literally, I have said to myself, I'm being real with you, I've literally been like, they have no value in my life because they don't like good food. Come on, you've done it. I don't want to go over to those people's house. She's always feeding me that weird vegan stuff. You've done it. You and I have done it. I don't know. When we go over there, it just seems like they play the music too loud. Or I don't know. Every time we go over there, their dog's always barking. It's annoying. Really? You would give up an opportunity to have a lifelong warrior and someone who has your back because some quirk, some small thing annoys you or annoys me? I've done it. I've done it. I've been at people's homes and been like, this is great, I love them, and then I get introduced to their kid. And their kid is a hellion. Let's be real. And you're like, I can't stand being around them. And so you just make up excuses not to go back. Come on. You have to see the importance of this. We cannot live lonely and alone. We cannot live isolated. We cannot allow some of the things that culture has brought our way to replace the beauty and the value and the importance of community. This is like one of those pastoral messages where I'm like, I've been there, I've done that, I'm trying to break out of it myself. And it's not a rebuke tonight at all. It's an encouragement to just for a moment think about it. Think about, am I allowing myself by religion, by society, by political stuff, by all the Facebook, social media, whatever norms, am I allowing myself to be so narrowed down to who I'm willing to even entertain to be my friends? And then what's really holding me back? Because I got news for you. I don't want to be around people that look like me, talk like me, vote like me. I know people get all upset when we mention the rainbow, God forbid, right? But that's the way God designed our world to look, is every color of the rainbow. Every bit of our lives should be sprinkled with different colors and textures and unique individuals and people and characters and people who think one way that's different than us and look different and act different and love different. And our life should be absolutely just sprinkled with the beauty of unique people from unique perspectives. It's what makes us grow. It's what sharpens us. It's what makes us hungry for more understanding of our journey of life and faith. And it's really the way God designed us. If you look at Jesus, the cast of characters around him were better than any Hollywood producer could cast a reality show. You had every type and character you could imagine in that group. From the quiet and reserved to the boisterous and overbearing, to the educated, to those that were swarthy, to those that had filthy mouths, to those that, they were those that had a short temper, cut off somebody's ear in a moment. Jesus was surrounded with both men and women from all walks of life. He didn't do that because he was like, look at me, I'm so diverse. No, he did it because he wanted to show us that we should live our lives in such a way that, hey, I'm going to judge you according judge is a strong word, but I'm going to value you according to who you are and not, the trappings, not the package. I'm going to invite you into my life and give you an opportunity for me and you to begin to build connection. I just want to encourage you tonight. You can begin to do it now, even during this. You're allowed to have somebody over your house. Keep your distance if you need to. Great. Begin to build connection. People are desperate for it. And don't just build friendships with Christians. You guys didn't cut me off the air with that, right? Hey, don't just build connections with Christians. Don't just build, if you're white and Republican and Christian and live in the suburbs and have a stock portfolio, go find someone who's a Democrat, a person of color, who can't spell stock portfolio. Really. Find some people that look different, act different, respond different. The most rich experiences of my life have come from different cultures, different people groups, different ethnicities, different nations, different ways of thinking. I'm reminded on Facebook, some of my favorite interactions are actually, John Annis has been a part of them many times, but some of my favorite interactions are between Lee Wetherington, who publicly is very pro-Trump and Republican, but he's a great friend of this place, and we love him. And he has solid reasons for how he feels. And then one of our other friends, Nancy Krongold, who owns Nancy's Barbecue. And she is also very intelligent, very, very locked into what she believes and understands. And she runs Nancy's Barbecue in Lakewood Ranch or on State Road 70 there, and the one downtown off of Ringling. And she's just a great, great woman. And her and Lee loves her barbecue, and Lee loves her, and she loves Lee because she loves the community and loves what he's done in the community. And they will get on a political post, and they will go at it pretty good. But at the end of it, like Morgan Freeman said, just because we disagree doesn't mean I hate you. And boy, you know that it's only a matter of time. And Lee will put on there, can't wait to have a pulled pork sandwich soon from you, or I'll be stopping by soon to eat. Because they are mature enough, they value connection and relationship above their own personal differences. And we will be better as a church, as a community, as a nation, and as a world if we relearn that as a society, that when we disagree, it does not mean that we can't be friends. I want to encourage you tonight, find somebody, even if you disagree with them, and begin to build what will be a vital, vital part of your future, and that is friendship and community and that koinonia, that communion, that brotherhood that we so desperately need in our hearts and souls as we march forward into the unknown. God bless you. Hope to see you again soon. We'll be back Sunday morning at 10 a.m., not 11, 10 a.m. Join us 10 a.m. live for worship and a message. See you soon.